Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Garage Topics. This one's a long time overdue. This is the first gen Tundra that I bought 2 years ago. I can't believe it's been that long. There's been a great number of you guys watching the videos. I really appreciate it. Be my fan, like this video, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more Tundra content, because I've got a bunch more coming on the way. But today, we're going to go over everything that's happened in the past 2 years on this truck, the good, the bad, the ugly. Quickly before I get into the Tundra, you'll notice that I'm at a new location. This is the new house. I'll have a separate video about its garage setup, but so far so good. CRV, got the C10 there, more videos on that coming later, and then don't worry, the SS hasn't gone anywhere, it's in the back there. But man, what a beautiful evening, what a beautiful truck. Let's start talking about what's happened in the past 2 years. Most of you probably have seen my other videos. The biggest difference here is that we de-grandpa'd this truck. The suspension and wheels made a huge difference, but I'm gonna go over a couple of things I did not cover in the videos in the past, and we will in the future. First off, headlights. I swapped them out for eBay specials at the black housing. I've had them on here for about a year now, and the fitment of these is terrible, but you can make it work, squeeze it in here, it's a little loose, but it hasn't fogged up. These have stayed very clear. These have got a slight yellow tinge. The camera's not picking it up that well, but you can clean them and they'll be fine. I have not cleaned them yet. We did the grill video. That's held up just fine. I put tint on the Tundra, just the front windows to match the back. So it's technically 35% all the way around now. And most recently, from the outside, is I got this backflip tonneau cover used. I found it on Facebook. I got a killer deal on it. It was in my past video when I picked it up, but it is great. I don't have it fully installed yet because there'll be a separate video about that, but it's on there right now looking good. As far as the outside goes, a couple nicks, scratches. As far as in the future, I'll be changing this exhaust tip. This has been here ever since I've had the Tundra. Someone's replaced this muffler when they first bought it, I was told, by the previous owner, with the super loud muffler. The previous owner replaced it with a quieter one, but it's still not OEM, so I actually love the sound, but the tip looks ugly. We'll change that later. Other than that, she's looking mighty fine on the outside. Let's go take a look at the inside. I actually just cleaned this past weekend, so it's looking really nice in here. Right off the bat, you'll notice that no wood is in here anymore. These limited trims that come with the leather and the sunroof all had this wood trim, fake wood trim in here. Shortly after I made some of the past videos, I wrapped it with a black vinyl. From this video and from 10 feet away, it probably looks really good, but it's garbage. It's really not that good. I did it on the window switches, the center console area, and did it on the stereo area. Oh, there's a radio there too. It's the stereo area, for the most part, it's all bubbled up. It doesn't look the best. My plan is to unwrap it and get just the OEM black from a non-limited and go that route. I think it'll look a whole lot better. Otherwise, looking pretty good in here. This is a Sony aftermarket head unit. I actually had a different head unit as well. I had just a regular double din that fit in the stock area. This front section looks kind of weird. It really dates the truck, and the screen on the other one was very small. This is a big truck. I installed this floating 9-inch Sony head unit. I love it. It is great. With that requires certain wiring changes to the speakers, speaker changes, etc. I did all that. I plan on making a video addressing that because I'd like to make some tweaks. Other than that, not a whole lot of changes. I've got a daughter now, so a car seat is mandatory. I'll show you that in a second. But so you'll see there's a bunch of lights on the dash. That's because I don't have it turned on. Otherwise, there's been no lights on this dash ever since I've had it. 2 years, 10,000 miles. It's only got 108,000 miles. So that's baby years in terms of these Tundras, but it has been rock solid. As far as interior goes, only thing that's worrying me is the steering wheel's starting to get a little bit rough. It's hard to focus on here, but I've got something up my sleeve for a mod here, and I'll make a video about that as well. But yeah, the inside of this has been great. No headliner issues whatsoever. Seats are incredibly comfy. This is a great road trip vehicle. I very much enjoy driving this thing. Not a whole lot to see here. Again, black back here. Man, this was a rough trying to wrap this. The back ones are okay, but I think I'm going to change it all out. A big change for me selling that Tacoma was baby seats fitting back here. This is a different seat. This is a bigger seat now that my daughter's 14 months old, and with my seat in a good position, it barely, no, it doesn't touch. I've got probably a hand back here, so it's very comfortable, very good. It's very nice. very much enjoy it. All right, let's take a look at the engine. It's a little messy, a little dirty. It's really clean considering this truck is 16 years old. Only issues I've had in here was when I first bought the truck, I had the timing belt replaced, the sign right up there at 98,000 miles. When that was changed, I believe it was the cam sensor, one of the wires got nicked, and so I was having a random starting issue where it would turn over but it wouldn't start when I first picked it back up from the shop. I looked it up. Apparently that's a very common issue. Sure enough, it had a nick in the wire. I replaced that, and then I could replace it myself. It literally took 10 minutes. It was very easy. This plastic cover had to come off to help me get access to it, but other than that, we're good to go. Only other issue in here was one fall, birds decided to try and make a nest in here. The only issue it was just disgusting in here, and I had to spray it all off, but thankfully it didn't do any damage. But this thing has held up incredibly well for how old it is underneath. It drives incredibly smooth. It's been great. It's been a joy to drive. So you're probably thinking this thing's perfect, right? Like it's the best truck ever. Every vehicle's got its flaws, but this truck is probably the least flawed as far as percentage-wise out of anything I've driven. My biggest flaw with it comes down to the brakes. The brakes on this truck are garbage. They're so small. There's an upgrade, like modern 4Runner brakes are bigger than these brakes, and this thing's meant to tow. And so the rotors were sort of warped when I first got it, so I replaced the rotors, but just towing, like it's not a very confidence-inspiring vehicle to tow with for the braking only. As far as stability goes, it's great. I'm gonna make a dedicated video of towing with this because I do tow a open car trailer with it with vehicles on it from time to time. But brakes could use an upgrade. There is an upgrade to GX460, GX470 Lexus brakes, technically the 4Runner brakes. I may consider that. I'd like to see if there's anything bigger than that, but when that happens, you start running into issues with running 17s, so that may be the course I take, and if I do, I'll be sure to film it on here. But otherwise, this truck has been incredible. I was very nervous about selling my, at the time, 4-year-old Tacoma to buy a 15-year-old Tundra, and 2 years later, I am so glad I did. As far as maintenance goes, like I mentioned, I replaced the front rotors, I've changed the oil on it. Other than that, I haven't done anything. What's coming up, I believe, is maybe drain some of the transmission fluid, maybe not a full flush, change the rear end gear oil, and I'm not positive. I need to double check it again. I think my boots are leaking from the lift. I have actually clamped them once with a different clamp to make sure they stop leaking, but I think it's still getting past this, so I may end up having to replace at least the boots on the CV joints on the front, CV axles, but other than that, it's been great. This is just a quick video. I've got a ton of comments and questions about the Tundra, so I wanted to answer them here. Be on the lookout for specific videos about the headlights, the radio setup, and some other specialty interior pieces as well, and just general thoughts about this Tundra as I go on and things I encounter with it. But I really appreciate it. If you have any questions, be sure to drop them down below. Again, if you like this content, please subscribe. It really helped me out in ensuring that I make better videos in the future and know what to make them on. Like the video if you liked it. If you got any thoughts, leave them behind. Again, we've got some big stuff coming up on the channel for all the OGs. I'm looking really forward to sharing that with everyone. Thanks a lot for watching. Make sure your dog doesn't throw up in the back of one of these because they are great. Thanks a lot. Catch you guys later. Peace out.